Start the new chapter. Hi everyone. We are going to start the new chapter, that is polynomial. Just quick recall what we studied in class 9 about the polynomial chapter. We studied degree of the polynomial. Then we studied about the remainder theorem, factor theorem, and division algorithm, and splitting the middle term using the finding the solutions of a quadratic polynomial using splitting the middle terms. Am I right? So just we are going to extend the same topic with the further. Okay. First we studied linear polynomial whose degree is 1 at the okay, and quadratic polynomial whose degree is 2. The highest power in the expression is 2, and a cubic polynomial whose highest power is 3 in that expression. Now, like here you have a few examples. 4x plus 2 is a polynomial of degree 1. So I can say it is a linear polynomial. 2y square minus 3y plus 4. So it is another polynomial. Here highest power of a variable y is 2. Y to the power 2, right? So it is a quadratic polynomial. Then you have another polynomial, you have 5x cube minus 4x square. So here highest power of x is 3. So I can say it is a cubic polynomial, and here it is a polynomial whose degree is 6. Okay. Now there are some expressions like 1 upon x minus 1 or under root x plus 2. These are not the polynomials because the power of a variable should always be a natural number or maybe whole number. Power of x can be 0. If power of x is 0, then we call it as a constant polynomial. Okay, where we have only the constant, no other variables. Okay, so here the variable power cannot be a fraction, cannot be negative terms. Then only I can say it is a polynomial. That expression is a polynomial. Otherwise, we call it simply it as a expression. And the constant terms can be the coefficients of x or x square can be a fractions, can be negative. Like here you have root 3 into x. So root 3 is a irrational number. So I cannot say simply it's not a polynomial. Okay, it is a polynomial. If you look at into the power of x is 1, so hence it is a polynomial. If I take y plus root 2, the constant term is root 2, but still the power of y is 1 only, which is a whole number. So still I can say it is a polynomial. Here I have x minus 2 upon 11. Here the constant term is a fraction. Okay, but the power of x is 1, which is a whole number, so hence I can say it is a polynomial. A quadratic polynomial means a polynomial with highest power is 2. Like you have the general form of the different polynomials, like linear polynomial, here I have ax plus b. Okay, I call it is a linear polynomial because the highest power of x is 1. Okay, and a and b, both the coefficients, here a cannot be equals to, cannot be 0 because if I take a value is 0, then ax will be 0. So I have only b. So we call that as a constant polynomial. Okay, and then a b value, if I say a is not equals to 0, which means b may be 0 or may not be 0. If b is 0, I have the polynomial something like this, 2x minus 3x. Okay, these are the examples of a polynomial where b can be 0, but a cannot be 0. Or sometimes both cannot be 0, 2x plus 3, something like this. These are the examples of a linear polynomial. And ax square plus bx plus c, I call it as a quadratic polynomial, and this is the general form of a quadratic polynomial. Here also I have a cannot be 0. If a is 0 here, then ax square will be 0. Then bx plus c you have, that will become a linear polynomial then. Okay, so that's why a cannot be 0. But b value or c value or maybe both can be 0. Here I have taken a different example. 2x square plus 3x. Here c value is 0. Then 3x square plus 5. Here b value is 0. And here 5x square. Then b and c both the values are. There is no x term. There is no c constant term. So these are all the examples of a quadratic polynomial. Then similarly, you have a cubic polynomial. This is the general form of a cubic polynomial, and here also a cannot be a 0. Okay, so these are the three things which we have. Next thing is 0 of the polynomial, or value of the polynomial, or you can say root of the polynomial, or you can say solution of the polynomial. Whatever the word you use, they have the same meaning. For example, if I consider p of x equals to x square minus 5x plus 6, what happens here? So here you get, for example, let me take x value as 2. Let x value is 2. If I substitute x value 2 in this polynomial, what do you get? P of 2 equals to 2 square minus 5 times of 2 plus 6. 2 square value is 4. 5 times of 2 is 10 plus 6. So if I add all these numbers, the value is going to be 0. By substituting certain value of x here, I am getting p of x value as 0. So I can say here x equals to 2 is the solution of the given polynomial, or you can say x equals to 2 is the 0 of the given polynomial. X equals to 2 is the root of the polynomial. You can use any word, okay? Sometimes I use word root, sometimes I use solution, sometimes we use 0. Is that okay? So similarly, I can substitute, maybe you try with, I think you in class 9th you already studied how to find this value of the polynomial. You try with x equals to 3, then p of 3 value also will give me answer as 0. P of 3 also will give you as 0. So I can say 3 is also a solution of the given polynomial. Okay. Now when I say linear polynomial ax plus b equals to 0, then I have, if I want to find the x value, x equals to minus b by a. This is the solution of a linear polynomial. Okay. So these are the things we have. Now if I say geometrically, how does the 0 of the polynomial will affect me, how it is going to show. Geometrical meaning of the 0 of a polynomial. Means when I represent the same polynomial on the graph, where exactly the 0 of the or solution of the polynomial will lies on the graph. Okay. So for example, if I take y equals to 2x plus 3 is an example of a linear polynomial, and I already studied in class 9th, I think, sorry, 8th. Linear equation in one variable in class 8, and we represent on the graph. We already knew that it is going to be a straight line. If I take different values of x, I get different values of y. Then I represent on the graph. If I see here y equals to 2x plus 3, just let me simplify this one. What you have taken example as y 2x plus 3 is the polynomial which we consider. 2x plus 3 equals to 0. If I solve for x value, then I think I get x equals to minus 3 upon 2. So that is x value is minus 1.5. So for this polynomial, 2x plus 3 equals to 0, then I got x value as minus 1.5. So when I represent on the graph, see, this is the straight line, am I right? And the graph, this straight line exactly touching the x-axis at minus 1.5 value. Okay. So geometrical meaning of the polynomial, 0 of the polynomial or solution of the polynomial is when I represent the graph, that polynomial on the graph, where the graph is intersecting the x-axis, that will be the 0 of that polynomial. Okay. So similarly, you tried for a linear polynomial. Now you can try for the quadratic polynomial. Okay, when I try for the quadratic polynomial, here I have taken p of x as x square minus 3x minus 4. Okay, so here if I substitute x value is minus 1, then p of minus 1 value is 0. If I substitute x value as 4, and p of 4 value is 0, that is y value is 0. So that means my solutions are, if I use the splitting the middle term for this polynomial x square minus 3x minus 4, my values of solutions is going to be minus 1 and 4. You see the graph. When I represent on the graph is intersecting at -1 and at 4. Okay, so that means any polynomial you take, you represent on the graph. Okay, whenever it is touching the x-axis, those are the actual solutions of the given polynomial. Okay, if you see the quadratic polynomial, the graph is always going to be a parabola. This is called the parabola. So you have upward parabola, this is upward parabola, and this is downward parabola, depending on the value of a. What is a? A is the coefficient of x square. That's what we discussed, right? General form of a quadratic polynomial is ax square plus bx plus c. So here a is the coefficient of x square. If coefficient of x square is positive, my parabola is going to be upward. Means it will go upward. This side it will go up, and this side also it will be extended. And when a value is the coefficient of x square is negative, my graph is going to be downward. The parabola will be reversed, 180-degree reverse. Okay. Now there are three cases when I have the quadratic polynomial. When I say quadratic polynomial, then it have two solutions. Am I right? Because the power is 2. Every quadratic equation has two solutions. So the graph of the quadratic polynomial, this, okay, graph of quadratic polynomial will touch the x-axis at 2 points. See here, case 1 is, there are three cases I am going to discuss. Case 1, the graph of it is a downward parabola, and this is upward parabola. It is touching the x-axis at 2 points. This one also at 2 points. Even this one also at 2 points. So case 1 is every quadratic equation will have two zeros, and both the zeros are different. The value of x-axis here and the value of x-axis here is different. So both the x values are different. That means a quadratic polynomial have two distinct solutions. Come to the case 2. What is case 2 says? You see the graph of this parabola. It is touching the x-axis exactly at 1 point. Here it is at 1 point, even here also at 1 point. So this is the case. We have a quadratic equation will have the same solution twice. The values will be repeated. Here I give the example what it means. For example, if I take x square minus 4x plus 4 equals to 0, so I use the splitting the middle method. I have written it directly. So I get x minus 2 into x minus 2 equals to 0. So here if I make x minus 2 equals to 0, this first term x minus 2 equals to 0, then I get x value as 2. When I equate second term is also x minus 2 equals to 0, then also again I will get x value is 2. So here both the values are same. So it is a quadratic equation only, but the solutions are remaining same. So in that case, the graph touches at 1 point only. So there is only one solution. Now third case is this one. The graph is not intersecting the x-axis at any point. There is no intersection with x-axis. So in this case I can say no solution. The quadratic equation has no solution, which means the graph, the polynomial which are the quadratic equation which they are given, there is no real number which satisfies that equation. Okay. So you may have a doubt, if there is no real number, that means no solution for that polynomial. In the real number system, yes, no solution. Sir, you're talking about real number system. We have only real number system. We don't have any other number system. Even I have natural number, whole number, integers, rational number, but these all are part of real numbers only. Okay. So in class 11th, when you are going to class 11th maths, if you opt, then we are going to introduce another number system which is bigger than the real number system, that we call as a complex number system. So we are not going to discuss now it. So when you go to class 7th, we'll discuss. So, okay. So when graph is not touching the x-axis at any point, that means say there is no real solution. I will not say there is no solution. I say there is no real solution. That means there is no real number which satisfies the given equation. Is that clear? Okay, so three cases: one, two distinct values of x, two equal values of x, and there is no value of x. So every time when you draw a graph of a polynomial is given, we are not going to draw the graph and check whether it is intersecting at 2 point, 1 point or no point. Okay, it will be a difficult task. So there should be a mathematical simplest formulas to identify. So next class maybe we'll discuss what are the simple techniques to decide no solution, unique solution or distinct solutions. I think these words you already heard in the pair of linear equation. That is a different story. Okay. So now onwards, if the graph is intersecting x-axis at how many times, that many solutions will exist. Okay, that the conclusion will come to that. Here the graph is intersecting 3 points. So here you can say 3 distinct solutions. The graph of function is x cube minus 4x. For this x cube minus 4x, for this function, the graph is this one. So here x values will be -2, 0 and 2. If I take another graph y equals to x cube, here I have y equals to x cube, another function, the graph is going to be this one. It touches the x-axis only at one point where x is 0. If I take the third function, x cube minus x square, this touches the graph at 2 points, 0 and 1. So there are 2 solutions for this graph. So here is an example. Just this question says that by looking at the graph, you find out how many solutions exist. Okay. So just look at the graph. It is intersecting 1 point. So there is only one solution. It is intersecting at 2 points. There are 2 solutions. At 3 points, so 3 solutions. At 1 point, so 1 solution. At 1 point, 1 solution. At 4 points, 1, 2, 3, 4. There will be 4 solutions. This is all about your first exercise. Exercise 2.1. Just they are given the graph. So there will be 1 more question. They give the graph and ask you how many solutions exist. Just find out how many times it is intersecting the x-axis. Then you can say how that many solutions are there. If you want, I will give the hint. 0, 1, 3, 2, 4, 3. These many solutions are there for different graphs. Okay. Now we are going to introduce another topic, relation between the most important topic. Okay, there will be 3 more questions based on this concept, relation between zeros and coefficient. Okay, so let me take one polynomial, for example 3x square plus 5x minus 2. Let's type here. Here you have to type what is the equation. 3 x square, let me check the equation 1. 3x square plus 5x minus 2 plus 5x minus 2 equals to 0. So this is a quadratic equation. When I say equation, equals to 0 must be there. Okay. So I consider as a, so I'm going to use the splitting the middle term. If you just recall, I have to multiply coefficient of x square, which is 3, and the coefficient constant term, which is minus 2. So if I multiply here, it is going to be 3 multiply with minus 2, which is equals to minus 6. So I have to split this minus 6 into 2 factors. So the sum of 2 factors must give me 5, the coefficient of b including the sign. Okay. So what are the 2 factors of 6? So for example, if I say 2 factors of 6, I can say 2 into 3. But I want minus 6, right? So one of the number must be minus. So 2 into minus, if I multiply 2 into minus 3, it will give me minus 6. So I want minus 6, perfect. But when I add them, 2 minus 3, it is going, if I add 2 plus minus 3, which is going to be minus 1. But I want plus 5. What are the other factors which you can have for 6? Other factors I can take it as, for example, 6, comma 1. I cannot simply say 6 into 1 is 6, but I want minus 6, right? So one of the factor has to be negative. So for example, if I put minus 6 into 1 is going to be minus 6. Product is giving me minus 6, perfectly fine. When I add them, minus 6 plus 1. Minus 6 plus 1 will give me minus 5, but I want plus 5. So what I do here is just I'll change, instead of minus 6 I'll keep as it is. Here I'll put minus 1. Okay, 6 into minus, when I multiply these two numbers, it will give me minus 6. When I add these numbers, 6 minus 1 is going to be plus 5. So my factors are going to be 6 and minus 1. So what I do here is this 3x square I'll keep as it is. 3x square I'll keep as it is. What are the factors I got? 6 and minus 1. So it is going to be plus 6. Then it is going to be minus 1 into x, that is minus x, minus 2 equals to 0. Okay. So after this, first two terms, what you can take common from the first two terms. If you want, I'll change the font color. From the first two terms, 3x square plus 6x, I can take 3x common. What do you get if I take 3x common? From the first, out of 3x square, you are taking 3x common, so you left with x, plus out of 6x, you are taking 3x common, so it is 2 is going to be left out. Okay, you get x plus 2. From the next two terms, minus x minus 2, what you can take common is, I can take minus 1 common. So you are going to get x plus 2. If I take minus common from both, it is going to be x plus 2. So once you take common this x minus 2 and here x minus 2, these two terms has to be same. Okay, that much here you have to take. Now again from both the terms, I can take x minus 2 common. Then from here 3x will be left. Then 3x minus 1, which is equals to 0. So there are two cases arranged. One is x minus 2 equals to 0. Then I'll get x equals to 2. Okay, this is the case 1. Another case which you get is 3x minus 1 equals to 0. Another. So when I solve this one for x value, you are going to get x equals to 1 upon 3. So these are the two values of x you got it after using the splitting the middle term for the given equation, right? So then what you have to do here is, let me insert the equation. Alpha beta, yeah. First value of x, I'll take it as alpha equals to 2. Okay, just first value I'm giving some, this word we call as alpha. Then another value I'll take it as beta, not beta, it is beta equals to 1 upon 3. So I got alpha value is 2 and beta value as 1 by, just I renamed x because both are x equals to 2. Here is x equals to 1 by 3. So instead of that, I use the different names. Alpha, one root as 2, alpha, another root as beta. Just find the sum of the two roots. Okay, let me write sum of the roots, which is equals to, sum of the roots means what do you get? Alpha plus beta, right? You have alpha plus beta. This is the sum of the roots. Okay, alpha plus beta, which is equals to alpha value is 2 plus beta value is 1 upon 3. So 2 equals to 1 upon 3. If I say I'll go for the LCM, LCM is going to be 3. Then I'll get 2 3 just 6 plus 1. Am I right? So next step it is going to be 7 upon 3. Okay. So alpha plus beta value, I got it as 7 upon 3. Next time I'll go as product of the roots. Okay, which is equals to product of the roots means alpha into beta. Agree? Product of the roots will come as alpha multiplied by beta. This is called the product of the roots. So alpha value is 2 multiply with 1 upon 3. 2 into 1 upon 3 is going to be 2 by 3. Okay. So here step by step, first quadratic equation is given to you. Okay. From the quadratic equation, I use the splitting middle term. I got the alpha value and beta value. Once you get alpha and beta value, then I got sum and a product, sum of the roots and product of the roots. This much you got it. Just let me copy the given question again. What is given here? 3x square plus 5x minus 2. This is the given equation. Okay. And what we discussed, the general form of the quadratic equation is ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0. Agree? Ax square plus bx equals to 0. Now when I compare both these equations, can you just give me the values of a, b and c? A value is going to be 3. Just I am comparing. B value is going to be 5. And here C value is going to be minus 2. Why I am taking? Here plus C will be equals to minus 2. So I got A value, B value, C value. Okay. Then what you have to find is minus B upon A value. Okay. So you have to find minus B upon A value. Can you tell me what you get minus B upon A value? Minus B value is 5 upon A value is 3. Something we got. Sorry students, I think here we made the mistake. This should be plus sign. Then this also should be plus sign. Then here you'll get x value as minus 2. That means alpha value as minus 2. So this will give me minus 2 here. Here I'll get minus 6. So this one is going to change minus 5. Sorry. Okay. So here you got b minus b upon a value as minus 5 by 3. Next value I am going to find is c upon a value. C upon a value. What is c value is minus 2 upon a value is 3. So it is going to be minus 2 upon 3. Okay. So here also this alpha value will be minus 2. This also will be minus 2. Now one thing you can observe here, alpha plus beta value I am ending with minus 5 by 3 and minus b by a value is also minus 5 by 3 and alpha into beta value is minus 2 by 3 and c by a value is also minus 2 by 3. So that means here I can conclude that alpha plus beta, let me copy here, alpha plus beta will be equals to minus b upon a is equals to minus 5 by 3. This is one case. Okay. Second case is alpha into beta, alpha into beta equals to c upon a equals to minus 2 upon 3. That's it. So this is called the relation between zeros and coefficient. Zeros means alpha and beta are the zeros. Here also alpha and beta. Coefficients means B, A, and here it is CA. So if they are giving the same values, alpha plus beta value is minus 5 by 3 and minus B upon A value is also minus 5 by 3. If this is coming equal, and I have to check alpha into beta value is minus 2 by 3 and C by A value is also minus 2 by 3. If they are coming equal, then verification of zeros and coefficient is done. Okay, that's what you have to do in the verification of zeros and coefficients. So if you want, you can take another example to do this. Let me take x square plus 7x plus 10. Yeah, I'll go to the next example. Verify the relation between zeros. The question will be something. Verify the relation between zeros and coefficients. Okay, in the given polynomial. So x square plus 7x plus 10 equals to 0. Whatever the polynomial they are given, I'll take it as equals to 0. So here x square coefficient is 1 into 10. So that means you have to factorize 10, two factors. The sum of the two factors is going to be 7. So factors of 10 is 2 multiplied by 5. Sorry, 2 multiplied by 5. 2 into 10 is, 2 into 5 is 10 and 2 plus 5 is 7. So these both are satisfying our required condition. So I will take x square x square plus 2 into 5, right? You can write it as 2x plus 5x plus 10 equals to 0. Okay. So from the first two terms again, see here you may have, sir, should I write 2x plus 5x or 5x plus 2x? You can write anyway, no problem. The answer is going to be same. So from the first two terms, I can take x common. So you'll get x plus 2. From the next two terms, I can take 5 common. So you are going to get again x plus 2 only, which is equals to 0. Okay. Again, from both the terms, I can take x plus 2 common. Then you will get it as x plus 5 equals to 0. When I solve both the equations, I am going to get x equals to minus 2 and x equals to minus 5. Okay, so that means, should I copy here alpha? Where is it? So alpha value I am going to take it as, okay, so one value of x I'll take it as alpha, then another value I'll take it as beta. Where is beta? Beta value is minus 5. So what is the next step I have to do? Alpha plus beta I have to find out. So when I say alpha plus beta value, if I want to find, this is going to be alpha plus beta equals to alpha value is minus 2 plus beta value is minus 5. So which is going to be finally minus 7. Alpha plus beta, I got it as minus 7. Then I am going to find alpha into beta, next step. So this is going to be alpha into beta. So alpha into beta equals to, you have minus 2 multiply with minus 5. So minus 2 into minus 5 is going to be plus 10. So you got alpha plus beta value and alpha into beta value. For the given quadratic equation, x square plus 7x plus 10 equals to 0, If you want, I can put here it itself. A value is going to be 1, then B value is going to be 7, and C value is going to be 10. Okay, so what you have to find next thing is minus B by A. So let me insert the equation. We'll get here as minus B upon A, which is equals to, so minus, what is B value? B value is 7, A value is 1. So you will get 7 upon 1, which is equals to minus 7 only. Okay. Next thing we are going to find is C upon A. So what do you get C upon A here? C upon A equals to C value is 10 upon A value is 1, so which is equals to 10. So you got the values same, alpha plus beta. So final conclusion step I have to write alpha plus beta equals to minus B upon A, that is also equals to minus 7. Next step is alpha into beta. Alpha into beta equals to C upon A is equals to 10. So both are giving the same. Alpha plus beta is giving me minus 7. Minus B upon A is also giving me minus 7. And alpha into beta is giving me 10. C upon A is also giving me 10. Hence, the relation between zeros and coefficient is verified. They have to be equal. Okay. So that is the concept which we have. Then you can try exercise 2.2. First, all the 6 questions. Each and everything you have to use the splitting the middle term only. Okay. So try to find out splitting the middle term. If you are not getting, then we'll solve in the. So like for example, this equation is third equation, 6x square minus 3 minus 7x. First you arrange them in the order, in the standard form. So first it has to be 6x square minus 7x minus 3 equals to 0. Now for example, here you have 4u square plus 8u. So if you want, just I'll help you to split the middle term. Here you have 4 u square. So variable can be anything, u, v, sorry, plus 8u. This is what they are given, right? So what you can, here I don't need to use the splitting the middle term because I don't have a constant term. So directly you can take 4u common from both the terms. If I take 4u common, you will get it as u plus 2. Okay. So here I have two things will be equals to 0. I have to put here also 0. Then I have to put, that implies. So here also if I use the next line if you want. I think I am only solving this one. So there are two cases will be possible. One is 4u equals to 0. Second case is u plus 2 equals to 0. So in these two cases, my one value of u will remain 0 only, and another value of u will be minus 2. So alpha value is 0 and beta value is minus 2. And just then you verify the relation between zeros and coefficient, find alpha plus beta, alpha into beta, and so on. So this is t square minus 15 equals to 0. Okay. So in that case, instead of t square, okay, let me write t square only. You have t square minus 15 equals to 0, right? So in this case, if I want, t value is going to be t equals to plus or minus root 15. Okay, plus or minus root 15. So plus or minus means plus root 15 and minus root 15. when I have alpha value will be plus root 15 and beta value will be minus root 15. Okay, so then you can verify the relation between zeros and quotients. So this second question we will discuss maybe in the next class. Okay, and the division of algorithm for polynomials, this topic is removed from the syllabus, deleted. So a few more examples are there. We'll solve those questions later on. Okay, so thank you. Have a nice day. Careful. Take care of yourself. Bye bye.